So yeah, we're finally here. So Freeya, first of all, I just want to thank you for coming to Reality Team TV. First of all, how you feeling, man? How you feeling? How are you?
I'm feeling good. Just grateful to be alive, to be positive, and to just be myself and know myself.
I love that, man. And first and foremost, the first question I want to ask you is like, how's your feelings about the world and what is really going on right now? Where are you, like
Okay.
mentally?
Right now, what I feel like is going on is there's a divide between love and fear. And reality is kind of splitting. And you can't truly really be in fear and be in love at the same time. It's either or in the reactions. So like, if we're fully in love, we don't really have room for fear. And if we're in fear, we don't fully have room for love. So I feel that's what's going on now. And as we're getting to the golden age, more we're awakening to our spiritual purpose and to the purpose of the universe and to spirit and to our own innate spiritual powers and our ancestors. I feel like this is all happening, and like this year has been a bit of a pause, but there's good and there's bad and everything. So the pause has enabled some people to actually connect more with themselves, to like meditate with themselves, you know. And some people, you know, have suffered being alone. And that's where it would come in, where community, we need to be there for each other.
Do you feel like, and also, yeah, that's amazing, by the way. And I totally agree with what you're saying. Because I feel like when we speak about the mental, yeah, I feel like mentally, like, the world is like mentally at war. If you don't say mentally at war, like obviously we speak about spiritual. And I feel like what is causing that, obviously a lot of people, they've got different excuses, different reasons why, you know, mental illnesses, like people are going crazy and all of these things are happening. But I truly believe like we got to a point where people, they're too busy, like basically making excuses why this and that's happening, rather than people finding time basically to dive within themselves and learning more about themselves. And then, because I feel like if you learn about yourself, and the more you can dive in within yourself, learn about yourself, what takes you, what makes you go crazy, what makes you good. When things like the pandemic and all of these things happen, I reckon you have more of a better chance to deal with certain things. So I reckon basically a lot of people are far from themselves basically, and I reckon that's what's going on. What do you think? Do you feel like more people need to dive basically within themselves to do more soul searching basically, like?
Yeah,
What do you feel like?
definitely. Even with me, all I can speak is from my own experience.
Yeah.
But for me, because we're all collective, we all connect collectively as well as individually. But for me, what I've been doing as well, which comes and goes at times, is, you know, I've had pain in my life. So, and that trauma and that pain,
Yeah.
sometimes we run away from it in ourselves, or we blame other things that happen in life that manifest because of that inner pain. Because
Fact.
outside reality is really a reflection of inner. So, to even sometimes I know it's painful even for myself, but when I do it, and certain medicines can help, like magic mushrooms can help us heal the pain as well and dive deeper in it.
Yeah.
It's like when you meditate as well, when you journal, and when you just travel back to that time and really like reframe it. So it's being with yourself, but also being able to dive into your own inner pain and inner trauma and really give yourself that love and that healing. And it can be tough, but that's definitely what needs to be done. And sometimes if we're not doing that, life will force us to do it. And maybe that's what's been happening now on a collective scale.
Absolutely. And do you feel like certain people, like it's like, you know, when people are too scared to face their demons, with you know, too scared to face their fears, and I reckon, yeah, too much complaining that the government this and that. Even with this pandemic thing that we were speaking about, even to just quickly segue off that, I got to a point where I started saying to myself, you know what, yeah, like in life you need to get to, if you know like you're getting bullied, or you know someone hasn't got the best interest for you basically, yeah, like when you get to a point to look at yourself to be like, you know what, this person hasn't got the best interest like for me, so it's like, you know what, rather than keep on listening to them or trying to tolerate them. Let me go figure my own thing out, because I see like a lot of people, they complain about the government, all of this stuff. But it's like, let's face it, even before the pandemic, in it, a lot of people were saying the kind of same thing. I don't trust what the government do, this and that. So what makes you think that the government's got your best like interest at heart with all of this pandemic thing? Because I see too many people getting panicking, like we're saying, watching the news every day, listening to Boris Johnson every day. And I'm saying to people, why don't you stop doing that and go do your own research? Because like social media, there's a lot of people with information, and where I'm getting to is like, I've got to a point where it's like, I realize that now a lot of people are lazy to go do their own research. A lot of people are lazy to go do their own research and really find the truth, and now they're complaining. Like, what do you think about that? Like in terms of people, like in terms of where we are now.
For some people, ignorance is bliss.
Absolutely.
So some people do not want to look further for themselves because they do trust the government completely.
Yeah.
The other thing when people talk about conspiracy theorists or conspiracy theories, or have you labelled in that? But again, they're too scared to find out for themselves, and they're just regurgitating things that they've heard. Me, for instance, I don't watch the news like that. I don't have a TV, but I might watch some stuff on my laptop. But I stopped watching the news a long time because it's very fear-based. They never really showed the good news. It was always literally fear-based news and like bad stuff that's happening. And I find that very unbalanced. And if you're just showing people fear-based and bad, it's going to get people depressed, and even subconsciously, that's all they think's going on in the world. And especially people that just watch TV to find out their source of information, it's going to be very a bit unhealthy for them. But also some people, the people that are more inclined to do research are the ones like, for instance, certain people that have had injustices by the government, firsthand, or like colonialists, or like from different countries. They're going to have problems trusting the government because of what they did to their ancestors. And that still kind of goes on. So that's got something that has to be addressed.
Absolutely, man. Because it's like, even now, like with the tier, what tier are we in now? What tier are we in now? Because it's like Boris, imagine a man's telling people, go left, go right, go up, go down, go in, go out. When are people gonna get to a point to be like, you know what, I'm not actually pissed off at Boris anymore. Let me get my team together. Let me go do my own research. It's crazy. It's like, even like moving on, like, you're very talented, innit? Like, you're very, very talented. Like, you play many instruments, innit? Like, could you tell me, and obviously whoever's watching this, like, how many instruments do you play?
Well, music only came to my life 7 years ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and in that 7 years, I've attracted a lot of instruments. So my first instrument was Native American flute, which I kind of started playing straight away. It's one of my favourites.
Sorry to cut you, because obviously not everyone's going to be watching this is going to probably know certain instruments that you play. So each one that you name, is it cool if you can explain to us how it is like, we can get a better picture? So the first one that you said, Native American flute. How was that like, if you could describe it?
I was going to bring it today, but I didn't bring it because it wouldn't fit in my bag with my ukulele, and I didn't want to be late. But Native American flute is a very Native American sound. So it's like a big wooden recorder. Would have been an ancient instrument along with the drum back in the day. It's got a very native sound to it, ancestral sound, very natural. It's good to play in nature.
Sounds nice and peaceful and spiritual as well.
I should have brag it.
Next time, you definitely bring it next time.
I've got some videos online with me playing it. I have some more songs.
So that's the first one, and the second one?
Then I got given a ukulele. These are all presents as well. I got given a ukulele. Because at the time I was working in a lot of office jobs and things, and I wasn't really happy. I was trying to find my purpose a lot, and I started writing poetry, and then suddenly I started rapping, and then like instruments came. So there's like ukulele. I started playing that. It's a bit easier than guitar, so it doesn't take too long to start making songs on it. Guitar. I got a guitar for like a £5 in this boot sale. That was my first ever guitar. And then now I've got like 5 guitars, electric guitar. Yeah, love guitar.
To love a guitar.
Yeah, I'm always still learning on my instruments, but it's like riding a bike. I can play it a bit. I can talk the language a little bit of it. Then I got a shaman drum, which I do some shamanic journeys with.
Nice.
For myself and for my friends, but I'll probably start offering it to other people as well. And I do some like ancestral chanting with that, spirit guide meditation. And I've got a didgeridoo, which I play a bit, but still I don't know how to circular breathe. I just play a bit on it. I've got a little bit of a gong, but it needs a bit fixing, and I need a little stand for it. I've got singing bowls. I've got chimes. I've got a Celtic folk harp. Beginning of last year, which I'm still learning, but I've got a few songs on. And I've got it in like Feed My Soul and things. The harp features in Starseeds as well. And
wow, that sounds
I just recently, a few days ago, got a sitar, like a half-size sitar. So I've been learning that. Oh, and a keyboard. So I've got a lot of stuff going on that
You're literally a walking band. Obviously, we're gonna come to your collective. But you're literally a walking band.
And it takes time again to build up the skills. I can do some basic things, especially the instruments I just got. Like my keyboard and my sitar. I literally just got them, so I'm just like
even like you're getting me excited, because I know for a fact like in future I can't wait to hear you play them and like go through the experience with you. Like if you had to choose one of them, which one? Not to even choose like which one is your babies or something, anything like that. Which of those like instruments? Which one would you say is the hardest to kind of like learn how to play?
Oh, I forgot to mention violin.
Violin.
I've got violin. I think violin's the hardest.
Violin. Ooh.
Yeah, violin's the hardest because it's got no frets on it, so you have to hear where the note is.
Okay.
And it's a bit harder to get. And it's still enjoyable to play, but to get a nice sound, it takes more mastery and perfection. It's about the way the fingers are and vibrato. You have to move the fingers. So I've only had a few lessons on violin, and I think violin and keyboard and sitar kind of come quite quickly. So
because I see even the way that the hold, it's like you need a technique, the way to hold the violin.
The bow, you need to hold it a certain way.
That's crazy. So even moving on